You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Hobson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies. This is AFTERBUZZ TV's Rizzoli Isles After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AFTERBUZZ TV's Rizzoli Isles After Show.
Hey guys, Bing is for doing, and what are we doing? Well, I'm gonna tell you. We're doing another Rizzoli Isles After Show here on AFTERBUZZ TV. We are on Season 4, Episode 8, Cold as Ice. I'm Krisily Kennedy, and joined by two lovely ladies.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tiona Hobson.
And I'm Jenifer Golden.
And this was quite the dramatic murder this week.
My neck still hurts.
I was like, wait, what? Huh?
I know, me too.
My neck hurts because I just felt like someone slit my throat.
It was, but you know what? I have to say, the last two episodes were kind of rough on us. And thank you guys for not being rough on us for having 2 rough weeks. But this week, I think it was a much better episode. It was definitely a lot darker. So we're getting back to that, less fluff. I just have to say, I don't know about you girls, but I grew up in a hockey rink because both of my little cousins play hockey, and so I was a super rink rat. And the hockey parents are super intense on the East Coast. I don't know if that's everywhere, but on the East Coast where I grew up, what we saw in this hockey rink tonight was pretty on key.
Yeah. I grew up on the West Coast, so we didn't have hockey rinks, but we had the soccer fields. And I just imagined all the soccer moms out there because they're supposed to be these cute, nice ladies with their lawn chairs, but they were actually vicious, vicious ladies who
Super
would get in a
intense.
fight.
It's like a dance mom, but not.
Yeah.
For hockey.
Right.
Kind of.
That was what I had to say there. I helped the conversation.
Like a dance mom. Okay. So we have a woman in a blue coat who walks into a hockey mom who then punches her in the face and draws blood, which, I mean, I don't know that they've been that intense in the rinks that I've been to, but that was quite the heated conversation just to begin with. And then the poor woman in blue goes to the parking garage and her throat gets sliced open. Rather
She had a
dramatically.
rough day.
Rough day.
Rough day.
But there was a lot of blood.
It was in the
5
ceilings.
gallons, exactly, says Frankie.
Yeah.
That was a lot. I've never seen the effects on Rizzoli Isles quite so gory. But thanks for showing us that this week.
It was dark.
I now know what it
We
looks
asked
like
for it. Yeah.
if someone were to slit my throat.
Oh, God, the thought still.
Yeah,
Terrible.
I mean, it was up on the ceiling of the parking garage, too.
It was everywhere.
The splatter just went like that.
So the police get called and they show up, and the hockey mom, is she still in her car smoking? Like, did this murder happen while she was in the car, or did it happen then she walked in her car and she just didn't happen to notice the dead woman behind her car?
The woman was walking after she got punched, she was walking to her car.
Right.
So maybe they walked in different directions to their cars. Like, if she came out afterwards, maybe the woman was, like, down a bit, and then she...
Because it looked like she got out of the car and the dead woman was behind the car, which leads me to believe, do you not look before you get in your car? Because there's a dead woman with a lot of blood.
I tend to look around the entire garage just because I'm terrified of garages, so I look to see what's going on around me. But that woman, maybe she was freaked out because she had just punched somebody and, like, she was all heated. But it's weird, though, because she was in her car during the game, which she did not want to be disturbed during.
Oh, well, they did clarify that. She goes into the
out to
car and
smoke.
smokes when her son's line isn't out on the ice. So because it's offense and defense is
All right.
like football, they put one side out at a time.
Got it.
Her son wasn't out at that time, so she went out to smoke and came in, which made sense. And I, too, because I just recently saw the call, are deathly afraid of parking garages now, and I look as well. So she obviously hasn't seen the call because
Clearly.
she would not have just walked to her car like that.
She also punches people, so maybe she's not afraid.
Hey,
She
can defend herself.
That is very true. So they obviously find the woman and the blood that is everywhere that they can't do, and they bring the punching hockey mom to the police station, and Jen thought she was in a straitjacket.
Okay, her jacket looked like it was either made out of toilet paper or like a straitjacket because it was white and I couldn't see where her arms actually folded, and I thought maybe they locked her in a straitjacket because she was nutso.
Yeah, well, they did take her clothes because there was blood on them, and they had to make sure that it wasn't. Fun fact: Marissa is on the board tonight. A bug just landed in front of me,
What
and
is
I'm going to
happening in
scream.
here?
Second fun fact: Tiona almost just killed it.
Oh.
Third fun fact:
Murder.
is Frankie said that there were 5 gallons of blood, but Marissa just looked up and said there's only 1.5 gallons of blood in the average human body. So that woman either had just a lot more blood than normal people, or Rizzoli Isles writers didn't do their research when they made that.
And Marissa also didn't believe me when I said it. So thanks, Marissa. And you were right.
That part.
You were right not to believe it.
Did they really not say 5 gallons? Did you make that up?
No, I swear. He
No,
said
he
something
Okay.
about that. Like, he's like, oh, the
No,
human
they
body.
actually, I think they said there was 6 gallons, but it looked like there was about 5 on the ground.
Yes, see? There.
Because we can't be giving fake facts here on AfterBuzz TV.
No.
Our fact checkers will be very upset
Yeah,
with
because
us.
everything you see or hear on TV is true. So
Just like the
not.
internet.
Yeah, just like the internet.
Just
so,
like the
It's
internet.
not.
Yeah.
It's not.
So we find from
This one wasn't.
the... What?
Oh, she said it's not.
Not. We find from the wound that the weapon of choice for this week's episode was a skate hook. So obviously it has something to do with someone in the hockey rink. And they start to bring in all the parents, and Jane has the wonderful idea of printing out 65 pictures so that every single parent will have to touch the picture to get fingerprints, which I thought was a really good idea.
Yeah.
I thought so too. I thought they were just going to go door to door asking if anyone has seen her.
They're just going to start posting up the dead woman's picture. Have you seen this woman?
Yeah, that when they said that, like, we need to get creative, I was like, oh, that's an interesting choice.
Like you see the lost dog, it'd be like
Right,
lost
yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, and when she did that and I realized what she was doing, it just reiterated in my mind what my mom always tells me. If you're in the police station, don't touch anything, don't drink anything. If they offer you water, like, they're always trying to, like,
Why?
get you.
Why is
First of all-
that preparing you for the police
Yeah.
station?
Yeah.
Because I'm black in America. No, I'm just joking.
Listen, don't go to New York. Don't go to New York. Because that law just, I don't even know what's going on with the frisking law.
Yeah.
God,
that's
I
not
love
really,
this show.
That's not really why. Just my mom is one of those people who's always watching too many cop shows.
Yeah.
I like
I
that,
do.
though.
And
Good to
so,
know.
you know, I feel like I could get away with a murder because I watch so many, and I feel like I could defend myself because I watch so many law shows. So.
It's
Great.
kind of like that always wear clean underwear, because if you get in a car accident and you're in the hospital, you want to make sure you have clean underwear on,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Okay. So my mom tells me to wear clean underwear, and your mom tells you not to touch anything in police stations. Our moms are
My mom
completely
tells me to
normal.
wear lipstick at all times. So there we go.
There we go. Perfect. So they then are looking for a car, which they find underwater, which is a Ford Focus. And I feel like after the car came up,
It was a moment.
it was a weird moment, but I feel like, did they really get that much info from the car that was down there?
Yes, they did. In the trunk, there was...
They found out her identity.
Right. And they found out where she's from and that she's a doctor.
And that her company was
ID,
fake originally.
Right. Her ID was in there.
Way to
Her
bring
name.
up Rhode Island. Rizzoli Isles. I mean, I'm a little mad that you killed the woman from Rhode Island, but way to bring up Rhode Island in the episode. Warwick, where I'm from. Thank you.
Wait, how did you say it, though?
Warwick. It's Warwick.
Sounds like a
an
child that's
R.
learning how to
Warwick.
speak.
It's Rhode Island.
Like
It's-
Wawa.
Yeah, kind
Just
of.
Warwick.
It's that Rhode Island accent, which, by the way, none of the people in the episode had Boston accents again this week, which, you know, I'll let that slide. But she works for Easton Labs pharmaceutical companies. And she's looking up Huntington disease,
Huntington's.
Yes.
which is hereditary. And-
Something with the cells in your brain going away.
Fatal. It's fatal. I
Yeah.
got that part.
It is fatal. And so we all kind of get to the next point of, obviously she knows someone who has it, or I thought she had given up a child at birth or something.
You tried to figure that whole thing out. It
I
was
did.
amazing.
I
Maybe
had
there
it
was
all
a child.
planned. She gave up a child at birth, and she was looking for the child because she might pass on this gene, and she thought it was only fair for the child to know. That was my guess.
But oh, sorry.
No, go you.
Well, I was just going to say, I love that while Krisily was trying to figure out who she was looking for, we were trying to figure out who we saw first so we could figure out who the killer was.
We
You were.
forgot to do that initially because I think we were just like so creeped out by the fact that her like throat was slit, and when they went back inside to the rink, we were like, I was like covering my eyes at that point. I just couldn't even deal anymore.
I know, and I don't think I've ever seen you cover your eyes during Rizzoli Isles.
Oh, that's not true. Usually during like a murder, if it's like a slow one with the creepy music, I'm like,
oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I'll agree.
yeah. I
All right,
get scared,
Huntington's
guys.
disease is a deadly genetic disorder in which cells in certain brain areas slowly waste away until they no longer work. There you go.
Wikipedia.
It kind of sounds like
WebMD.
it sounds like MS a little bit, but it's not.
Yeah. So, we then get introduced to Jonathan Mcknight, who is not a new kid on the block. He is a retired homicide sergeant because, as Jen so lovingly told me, it's Jonathan Knight, not Jonathan Mcknight, even though I was a little confused by that. And
Get your facts straight.
I know. See, fact checker. You're the fact
Jordan
checker.
Mcknight, is that?
And Jonathan.
No?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's Jordan Knight and Jonathan Knight.
There is a
Brothers.
Mcknight,
Oh,
Brian Mcknight.
Brian Mcknight.
Oh yeah.
That's-
Shouldn't you? Just
You
I
should
should.
know that one.
I should, but I called him Jordan.
See?
It happens. Anyway, we digress a lot tonight.
A lot tonight. But so he brings up this whole thing that, I can't remember the woman that got killed's name.
Carla Dalton.
Yep.
Carla Dalton.
Dr. Dalton.
Dr. Dalton had a sister and a brother and a nephew. And there was a boating accident, and supposedly they all died. And Carla would not let it go and said, absolutely not. He killed my sister, and he's still alive and took my nephew. And so then it all starts to make complete sense. So now she's getting their sweat to find their DNA, which then we find out the father, actually knowing of the Huntington's disease, had his son tested in this blind study to make sure. So that's how they found each other.
Which I, by
So
the way, actually
lovingly.
liked that storyline a little bit better than she gave up a child a long time ago and that whole thing.
Why you got to kill my creativity?
I love that you were trying to figure it out because that was so fun to hear. And we were on pins and needles trying to figure out what the hell that nameless person was even doing there with a fake business. But I do actually like that she's trying to avenge her sister's death and find her nephew. And it's because when the accident happened, they couldn't find the bodies
Yeah.
of the father and the son. And I just really liked how that all played out.
But what's sad is that she doesn't get to know
Right.
because he didn't turn her around and like, you found me and then killed her. He did it from behind, so she doesn't even.
Because he's a coward.
Yeah, so she doesn't even get to know.
Not only does he was remarried,
Right.
Yeah.
With a different name. Doug
and
Pierce.
like
And
how
plastic surgery.
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. So if you moved from Rhode Island to Boston,
Yeah, go further, guy.
I mean, come on, that's a 45-minute drive, maybe an hour with traffic. Or 2 hours if you fly in at 5 o'clock on a Friday night, which I learned last weekend. But that's really not far enough to go away from like your
People who would
Death.
recognize you. Go leave the country.
right
Get
Or go
out
to
of
the opposite
town.
side of the country.
Texas. Go somewhere that no one's gonna
You
know.
were already in a boat, so just have another boat there to take you somewhere else. When the accident happened, it was a boating
He
accident.
clearly doesn't watch enough TV.
No.
Because he would have known that Boston was not far enough to go.
Or doesn't have a map. Or maybe just a map, really.
Yeah, you would think he would try to go farther than
Or the
Boston
internet.
from Rhode Island.
Right.
Because East Coast states are so small compared to like out here, how
that's
California is
true,
like,
too.
you know,
It is.
huge distance where, you know, I wouldn't find you in Sacramento because I'm in LA. I don't go up there. But and it's a further drive to get to LA to Sacramento than it is from Rhode Island to Boston.
You raise
Yeah.
a good point.
So he wasn't, I mean, he was half smart. The half smart murderer. But he got caught. And now the son will know if he has Huntington's disease. And Carla unfortunately died and didn't get to see any of that happen, which is very sad.
And that poor wife, Sheila, is so confused.
Can you imagine?
No.
You're going on a boat trip with
No.
your husband and your kid, and you find out that he's not who you think he is, and he killed his last wife, and then he killed his sister-in-law, and
This is why I'm scared of strangers. What? It's true.
I understand. You should, yeah, we should continue to watch Rizzoli Isles and more crime shows, and then we'll never want to ever leave the house.
I know. Somebody has to walk me to my car later.
We'll all walk together. But speaking of not wanting to leave our houses, what you can do if you don't want to leave your house is you can go on the internet and download immediately Serial Buddies, because it is amazing. And our fabulous creators of AfterBuzz TV, Maria Menounos and Kevin Undergaro, worked very hard to bring it to you guys, and it helps us. So watch it. Well, first download it, then watch it, laugh about it, and tell us how much you love it. Right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, Cailin comes back tonight, and she's kind of a punk.
I don't think she is.
I'm not really feeling that she was totally in the wrong here.
No, I think Maura was a punk. I wanted to stab
So,
her.
but-
Oops, sorry.
Okay, I get that. But I also think that when your mom tries to get you a babysitter at 17, 19, sorry, and your sister who is estranged, who doesn't know you, who saved your life, says that you can come stay with me, that maybe the smartest thing isn't to do is to walk in and 5 minutes later start blaring loud music so everyone in the neighborhood can hear it.
I agree with that one instance.
Okay, and so maybe...
I also was very confused where she got the speakers from because, to be fair, she had no bag. So unless she's got the tiny speakers that make the most noise.
Maura has a yoga room. You don't think she has speakers?
Okay, maybe.
The second scene we see with Cailin is the next morning. No, it's not even the next morning. It's that night when she doesn't come home on time for curfew, which Maura didn't really give her a curfew. But Maura, was a little aggressive, but...
She wanted to put out a bolo on her.
Well, she did. She called and put out a missing persons report on her when she hadn't even been gone a day. But I feel
It
like...
was like 4 hours.
But I feel like the same thing. Like, Cailin should have understood that she doesn't know how to handle the situation and that she was kind of being a brat.
I think she was being a brat, but she was also being a 19-year-old in college. When I came home from college after my first year, my parents tried to give me a curfew and all that stuff. And I was just kind of like, what? You mean I have rules now? I've been out on my own. And she hasn't been out on her own. Her mom is so controlling.
Right.
But I think she thought coming to her sister, it would be more like, hey, we're sisters, as opposed to having her mom
More of
watching
a
over her
peer than an authority figure.
Yeah, but Maura's just like her mom.
Well, but she also doesn't know that. She doesn't spend so much time with her. And that's why she made mess and all that. If she knew Maura at all, she wouldn't have made the mess.
Well, and that's the other thing. So she comes home, she knows that Maura's really upset, and instead of understanding that Maura's just kind of being a little crazy because she's never done this before, she then invites all her friends over, and they trash the kitchen. I mean, that kitchen was trashed.
But she
Let's
was
face
doing a
it.
good gesture.
Yeah, she was making breakfast. And they'd been studying all night.
Oh, you guys.
Okay, so the only reason why I'm gonna side with her is that I kind of am Cailin sometimes.
Oh,
my
messy,
intentions
are
are
you?
So don't
good.
ever come to my kitchen,
No,
please.
my intentions are good.
mine.
It might be a little messy, and I'll clean it when I have time to.
Right.
See, I'm a slob. Listen, my
Yeah,
room,
you know.
my bedroom looks like a bomb went off at all times. At all times. My kitchen table has a mountain of paperwork on it that you can't even see the kitchen table. So I'm all about it. But when I'm in other people's houses, except for my mom's, because I know my mom will clean up after me. So my mom, I'm a
There you
slob
go.
too. But if I'm at other people's houses that take me in so I don't have to deal with like crazy babysitters, then I'm pretty clean and neat and not playing my music really loud.
Yeah, that's me too. I'm not gonna lie about that. Okay.
Right? So I feel like Cailin, I mean, yes, Maura was totally crazy, but I feel like Cailin was kind of a little bit of a brat at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah.
I think she was just sort of like not aware. Not so much as she was being a brat. She just was sort of like unaware of the situation and what she was necessarily doing.
Maybe those are all things that her mom is constantly walking behind her cleaning up at
Yeah.
home.
You get
so
used
she
to
doesn't realize, even when she was walking out and left her teacup on the side of the table and was like, oh yeah, I'll get to it. I'm just running really late, and left. Maybe she's just used to
Doing it later, maybe even, or her mom cleans up.
Well, that's what I would do. I would make a mess and then leave it, and then my mom would yell about it for so long that eventually she'd just clean it up herself.
Right.
But you don't do that in other people's houses.
I mean,
But Maura was crazy. She brought in 3 of her friends, 2 girls who were talking about how smart Cailin was and how she doesn't have to study, which I think Maura probably enjoyed that part a little bit because it made them relatable to each other.
Right.
And then the boy, I have to talk about him because it's my friend Jared. And had I known that he was on the episode tonight, I would have dragged him in so that you guys could hear from him. And I'm really going to try to get him in next week because I think it would be really fun to have somebody that's been on the set and on the show and just talk a little bit about what set's like and what the girls are like. And
wait, why was he sleeping outside?
out of respect, maybe. I didn't get that part.
But did he study with them, or he was coming to study with them?
I don't know, but he said the walkway was not comfortable. We'll have to ask him.
Okay.
We'll have to ask him because we're going to try to get him in next week because I think it would just be really fun to have somebody in and talk about the show,
Absolutely.
to see the inside scoop. I also did like that Mama Rizzoli got involved in all of the fights and said that it's your first sibling fights.
Right.
This is what it feels like. I liked all that stuff. I
Me
think
too.
they need to show that side
Yeah.
of Maura, and because Cailin was like there, and then she was dying, and then we didn't know if she was alive. If Maura had a kidney, and then finally she's back. So, interesting turn with Mama Rizzoli tonight.
Yeah.
That was a weird storyline that had no resolve to it.
None.
Like the whole, they brought up the fact that she is low on cash and that it has to do with her divorce and that her ex-husband basically screwed her out of tax money. So she owes it now to the government and it's $27,000. But like, they kept bringing it up with the bake sale thing that she was doing and then the recycling, but it was really to collect cans and bottles so she could get money. But then it went
collect
away.
a lot of cans for $27,000.
Right. And Vince offers her money and, it just sort of didn't tie itself up in a pretty little knot and then like go away.
Maybe it's something that they'll actually carry over. Because I felt like they didn't really set it up well enough because there was, her in the closet with Maura in the beginning. And I'm just thinking they're in their spring cleaning. And then it wasn't until Jane and Maura were walking out of it that she's like, please don't tell me you're just doing this like to give my mom money because she needs it.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, where'd that come from? I didn't realize that is how it started.
Yeah. It was weird. I mean, maybe they just needed something to be her storyline this episode.
I thought the Frankie stuff was weird too because they went back. First he wasn't a detective, then he was a police officer in a uniform, and now he's back to wearing khakis and a blazer in the police station. And for me, like if you're a police officer, you're in uniform.
Well, he's a detective, no? I thought he was now.
I don't remember him getting detective.
Yeah. No, he got promoted and he's in the homicide. That's why he was working with... He's a floater
He's
or
a
something?
floater, yeah.
He was a floater, okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's not consistent with him, so I get confused.
Right. Also, what's not consistent is the fact that there were budget cuts because that would have made more sense. I keep bringing this up. I think that was an important fact.
Yes.
It was the whole thing, and then they actually mentioned it when there was the issue with the car stuff, but last week and taking their cars away.
Yes.
And it would have made more sense for me if maybe Angela got fired and then had an issue with money versus has a job and talks about needing more money.
Well, she's working at a bakery or deli. I'm sure she's only making minimum wage.
Yeah, but that's where I thought they were going to go with the money thing, that she had been laid off due to the budget cuts.
Yeah.
And that's why she needed money now to live on and sustain her life, but
Not
that
so
didn't
much.
come.
Yeah, it sort of didn't really connect to anything and it didn't really wrap itself up.
And they all had cars this week, so I guess they got their cars back.
Yeah. Jane also still has the boot on, which thanks to our lovely listeners and viewers, they told us that she actually did really hurt her foot. And so that's why they had to write it into the episode because she had a cast on.
And after they said that, I thought about it. We never saw Jane running last week. We only saw her sitting on the curb already
Right.
injured. And I was like, ding, ding, ding.
Yep,
There
totally
it is.
makes sense. And clearly Maura had a cold tonight.
Is that what that was?
Yes, she didn't sound right. She must have been sicky poo.
Oh, interesting. But also Angie actually like hurt her back too. She must be klutzy or something. Like, what is that?
Maybe when you're that tall, I'm a klutz and I'm not that tall, so I don't even know if that's a good excuse. Tried for you, Angie, sorry. Nothing big with Frost the last couple of weeks either.
No, just super smiley and excited about his job. And tonight he didn't throw up.
Even when he saw Mary throw up, he did not throw up,
Right.
which was impressive.
Willpower.
Willpower. But that was basically it for this week's episode. It was,
Oh, they introduced another cop girl for...
we'll never see her again.
I guess
Tiona.
I guess she was the motivation behind Frost wanting to cure himself of his issues with blood and everything.
Another female cop that we're never going to see again.
At least it could have been the same one as last time. That way there'd
Or
be
the
like,
coffee girl.
Yeah, or the coffee girl.
He's just,
Like, I'm really curious as to why they do that. Like, do they need a certain amount of people on set at every time? Like, or is it like multicultural, like integration? I don't know because it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Or maybe I'm just bitter that they haven't cast us as like a day player. I don't know.
oh my goodness. I think it might be like the running joke, like let's see how many new girls we can get Frost to be attracted to or something. Because there's been a lot this
What
season.
happened to the coffee girl? Like, Vince said he was going to get coffee, and you would have thought that like Frost was like, I want to go see my girl.
Nope. There's a
No.
new girl in town this week.
I can't keep up.
Frost is more of a hidden and quit it kind of player.
Apparently.
Wow.
Yeah.
You went there.
I went all black ebonics on you there.
You did.
Woo, sounded
You
like
did.
a white girl, but speaking black.
We're an equal opportunity after show here at AfterBuzz TV.
Hey.
Before we get into what's next, make sure you go to iTunes and rate and comment and like. I love reading your comments. I always go check our YouTube as well.
Oh, yeah.
And we all love your tweets. So thank you for being interactive with us. We don't have any news and gossip this week, do we, Jen?
No, I scoured the internet, and if somebody else has some out there, please let us know what happened this week.
Oh, sorry. This is not related, but kind of. Whitey Bulger. Was that his name? Who you brought up the other week?
We did.
The mob boss.
No, the mob boss.
We
in
talked about
Boston.
Whitey Bulger a couple weeks ago when when Maura's dad got convicted.
Oh, I wasn't here for that one. I was sick from sushi.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you're not allowed to eat sushi on Tuesdays anymore.
Nope, I'm not.
And yeah, Whitey Bulger, who is from Boston, who was found here in California. Apparently, he followed me here because that's what all the cool kids do, and was convicted of almost all but one account. So big deal.
19 murders, right?
Yeah, but I think it was 31 of 32 accounts that he was.
Yeah. And they could only find evidence of 11 murders or something like that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was weird because this episode, you know, you have husband who kills his wife and moves an hour away. Whitey never left the country either.
No, but at least he went to California.
I mean, he went to California and was living large for like 17 years on the road or whatever it was.
Him and his woman.
Yeah.
At least he was smart enough to go cross country.
Yeah.
Not Boston or Rhode Island. Jeez Louise. So I think predictions are ready. Because
Now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
next week's murder,
Okay.
first of all, looks super intense.
Yeah.
We have
Super
another
dark.
throat.
There's a
Yikes.
book involved, and they talk about a copycat killer.
Yeah.
But we see Hoyt.
Yeah, that's super creepy. It's like the creepiest.
Isn't he dead?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but he's dead. Like, deader than dead.
I thought we got rid of him finally. So all I can think is maybe she dreaming or he trained someone else
It probably
again.
brings up like those memories, obviously, because it seems copycat-ish.
But how many times are we going to bring up copycats of this same
Yeah, but
guy?
Hoyt, I think because it's so intense, she still has those scars. You'll notice that when she gets stressed, she still rubs them. So I think that's something that's so underlying. But I really thought that the last time, because we thought he was dead once before, and he wasn't. But then I feel like the last time that they killed him, I feel like he was really dead that time.
He's like a cat. Just kidding. Sorry, that was bad
9
joke.
lives.
This is a stupid joke. It's late, I think.
It's Hoyt. He was that. It was 100% him in the clip though. Correct? I'm not crazy.
Yes, it
I know
was.
It's been
And
a
he
long
looked
day.
scary. I might have nightmares tonight just based on...
And he did like rub her hair, and we did see her kind of come up and awake, but it did feel like
He was there with her while she was sleeping.
Yeah.
Because they also cut those promos to mislead you so that you can't really guess exactly.
I'm going to say it's just a bad dream or something. That's what I'm going to say. Oh, that's my prediction. Oh, got one. Which, by the way, so tonight is episode 8. There's not that many left.
No.
5.
I like how you used your fingers there.
5.
Good. So we still have a lot to have. Like Patty, but he's in jail.
He's in jail. We're not going to hear from him again
Ever?
this season.
I mean, geez.
Maybe not ever, but not this season. He'll probably get off on like early parole or something.
Something crazy.
Yeah.
Or he will help solve a crime in another episode.
Maybe.
We need to still see Tommy and TJ and Lydia. Whatever happened to Lydia?
I mean, are Tommy and Lydia together? Because
We
they
don't
just
know.
went for a walk and then...
They never came back.
Well, Tommy came back. Lydia didn't. Maybe
Longest
he killed
walk
her.
ever.
I don't know.
That'll be the crime in 2 weeks. Lydia's found dead.
Maybe. Hope is away, but not. She comes back in 3 weeks, apparently, according to tonight's episode.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Guys, tell them where they can find you, please.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Tiona Hobson.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Jen the Jew.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Krisily, and like my Facebook page, Krisily Kennedy. You have to like it. Like. And then go on YouTube and iTunes and like us there too, because we just love all the love. We'll see you guys next week.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.